Welcome to another exciting episode of the Agent versus the Agency series. If you watched the last episode where we talked about who a real agent is, it's not just about your license, it's about what you have around you, it's about what you've built, it is what connections have you have, what knowledge do you have in the industry, and how are you positioning yourself. So if you've enjoyed that, this is a very good one in terms of following up. Whether you're in the sports business, you've just passed your license, you're already licensed as an agent and you want to, continue growing your career, I would say you should stay tuned to this episode. Of course, it's from the board. And on behalf of everyone at the ball business and the community, I'm saying good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, in wherever part you're listening to us. Whether you're driving, you're jogging, or you've just woken up, this is one episode you don't want to miss. So now let's get into the real deal. I'll just take a cup of tea and I want you to grab yours as well. Yeah, remember the last episode we talked about those positioning, your knowledge, what do you know about the business, your connections, your contact. That is what makes a real agent. Now those are external factors or external influences. Today we'll be talking about the internal one, which is the trap. This body, this psychology, this intellectual thing, how you thinking, how you coping, am I on the right path? Is this a successful career for me? What really defines me? That's what we'll be talking about on this episode. So now we are going to be talking about the professional trap. When I was starting ball business, I built a whole lot of success in my head. Like every one of us, like everyone who has started a business or doing anything, even going into the university or coming into a new country, or even something as important as marriage or having a new child or graduating school, we are always having that mindset or that background idea of how we want our future to be. So if you are building your career as a sports business person, you're building your career as an agency, maybe via Ballbridge, the app, or personally you are doing it on your own, there's this trap that we find ourselves in. Naturally, nobody wants to be there. Some of us, we don't even know it is a trap. I'm guilty of it. Other agents, you see how they are also guilty. All of us are guilty. And like I said, it has nothing to do with football business. It is just right there in our head. I used to measure success into different things. Oh, if I do my first deal, then now I'm there. If I do my first legal deal, oh, now I'm there. If I can get one student and teach them how to pass the agent, oh yeah, then I think I've done something good. Those are not the things that actually matter in the long run. I'll be honest with you. If I do my first podcast, oh yeah, then the second one. And at the end of the day, you see, okay, you've done all of these things. You've done your first contract, you've signed your first deal, you've done your first legal case, you're in a commercial transaction, you've done your first podcast, and you still don't feel good enough. Or you still feel, does this really make sense? Is this what I really want to do? That is the trap we all find ourselves in. We hinge our success on our players scoring goals, on those deals coming through, like I already mentioned. Even for established agents, they are all guilty of this. Probably when their player is on good form or is a goalkeeper keeping all the clean sheets, striker scoring all the goals, midfielder making all the tackles. And we believe, we are good agents, we are very good, the deals are coming now, your player is making sense, it's making wave. You put one post on LinkedIn, you're getting 210 likes, 90 likes. And all of a sudden, one day, it just doesn't happen again. The player stops scoring goals, those stats are no longer in your favor. Then you feel, I'm a bad agent. That's what we're discussing. Realistically, it happens to everyone. And like I said, this is not even about the business. It's about what is up there in your head, your mental psychology, your mental state. All of this is a trap. It is a trap, and I just want you to snap out of it. And how can we do that? Before we go into you snapping out of that trap, I don't want you to hinge your life or your success as an agent or in the sports business on stats or on things that happen and things that didn't happen. I'll give you a practical example. I sent a message to this popular agent, this is Fumbi, this is what I do, this is what I'm building, I've been able to do this, and the guy just didn't reply. I was really pained, and all of a sudden, the guy was even in Nigeria, that's my home country, that's where I'm from, doing scouting tournaments, speaking with people, talking with the people I really want to talk to, or is in places I really want to be, and it just does not reply my text. Then months afterwards, I saw his message. Hi, from you. Somebody mentioned your name about this. You've got a good reputation back home. When I get to England, can we jump on a call or on a coffee and let's meet? On top of my head, I was really excited. I said, oh, finally. So while taking a walk later in the evening, I just snapped out of my head and I was like, okay, this person has replied me, and so what? Whether he replied the first time, like months ago, whether he's just replying now, it really does not mean anything. Maybe he didn't see my message, maybe he saw my message, maybe I've gained traction, after 6 months, then he can come back to me and say, okay, come on, I think this guy is worth talking to. All of those things does not really matter. That's what I want you to know. So sometimes you might be texting somebody on LinkedIn and that person is not replying your text message, or you're trying to reach out or you're sending an email, that person is not replying, or probably the person replies. Those little success, those little starts, like I said already, if your player is scoring all the goals or everybody's coming to you, those things does not really define you. I don't want you to hinge your success on those things. I don't want you to hinge the value of your agency or your reputation on all of those things, because those things are just starts. Like I said, those things are just what? Starts. They come and go. They come and go. So I don't want you to focus on that. What I just want you to take out from this story that I've just told you is that none of that reflected my actual quality. None of that reflected my actual quality. And if you're going through something like that, none of that reflects your quality as a person or the quality of your work. There are external variables, and like I said, I've put it in my notes, I said they are weather. And in this industry, the weather changes constantly. But most importantly, here's what the problem this creates. It creates a psychological problem in your mind, and you're like, am I good enough? Do I have the guts or the wits to go places in this industry? Do I have the technical know-how to do these things and make a living out of this? The answer is yes. Don't let all these little wins, little setbacks dictate your psychological state or your moral well-being. It doesn't actually matter. Get yourself out of that trap. Just keep working. Keep doing what you need to do. Keep showing up. None of those things matter. As long as you are true to yourself and as long as you know what you're doing, then you are on the get-go. I'm sure some of us have heard the word success is the guest, if not most of us. Of course, it is very applicable in this industry, especially in things that we do where we find ourselves. Now, I want you to paint this scenario in your head. You've got your license, things are going on for you, you've established your business, you're working right at it, you're getting the deals, you've signed your first player, this player is doing great things, second one, third one. I want you to see this success as a guest, and this is what I mean. Imagine someone comes to your house, someone very important, somebody that you've been expecting and praying for that, oh, they should come visit you. And they come around. How do you treat them? You need to treat them specially. Offer them a drink, save them a good cozy space, give them a warm blanket, even a cup of tea like I do have here. Why? So that they don't leave. Or when they are leaving, they come back on time. So also in the business, you are going to face some lovely good times if you're doing what you're doing. For example, there's some of the guys that we are mentoring, or some of our clients that we mentor using the Ball Bridge app. They set up their businesses, giving them all the knowledge and wherewithal that they need to equip themselves in this new journey. And they're experiencing tremendous success. We always tell them, or I always tell them in their one-to-one or personal sessions, I tell them, you see what, let's treat this as a good guest, because you don't want to treat success as a bad guest. And what does that mean in football? So you see those contacts, those guys that you've reached out to, those sporting director that's made those deals come through, those coaches that have given your player the chance, those commercial transactions that you've already sealed, the agents in those transactions, the people that held the door for you to come in to make your business good. Like I said, for us at the ball business, is our community, is the people that patronizes us, is the sporting directors that take our players. All of us have those people, and they are the guys that make this thing successful. They are the people that make your career successful. And what you need to do is what? Remember, psychologically, first, you don't get too excited, because of course it's a guest, it will come and go. Then secondly, how do you maintain those relationships? You need to treat them plainly, openly, and honestly. So imagine that, still on that illustration of the guest. So imagine somebody coming to your house, somebody you've been expecting, and you are overplaying it. Oh, do you want a cup of tea? After 5 minutes, Oh, do you want a cold drink? After 2 minutes, and the person is telling you, please relax, let me even enjoy staying. See, these relationships, if you nurture them too much, they have a what? A retrogressive effect. So, for example, you've seen this meme. I saw this poster somewhere that you spoil the plant when you even water it too much. So, what I'm saying in essence is this: in as much as those successes are good, I want you to still be inside yourself. That is, don't get into the trap of that success. So, there are two traps here: the trap of you not being successful, or things not working for you, which we discussed first, that being the psychological trap of things not working for you and you're thinking you're not good enough. I've told you, snap yourself out of it. Then the second trap is the successful trap. Oh, now we have so persons. I have a player in this big club. I'm talking to this Spanish team. I'm talking to this English club. My client is here. I'm doing this amount of deals. I've done this with FIFA. I'm doing this and that. Those are good testimonies, but don't let that get into your head. Don't let that get into your head. In as much as, like I said, those successes are as a guest, you treat them fairly, you treat them squarely. The people that brought that success, you respect them as well. And of course, yourself, which is the most important thing. You need to sit down, you see, like I'm just doing now, relax, adjust yourself, and let it continue playing, let it continue flowing. Another thing about success being a guest in our own world of sports or in our own business is this: what brought you that success is not what is going to take you there. But that's a different conversation for another time. But today, let's just stick on this episode about what? You not staying in that trap. Now we've discussed the two traps. That is when things are not going well for you or as planned, to put it in a better way. The second one is when things are on the roller coaster, you're on that highway, things are going really well for you. What do you do in these two instances? I put this down to say, how do you construct a self of sense that remains steady, not arrogant, not detached from results, but genuinely grounded through both the highs and the lows? The first component is your values, not your results. And you can see even at the ball business, one of the things we hold in high regard or high esteem is our customers, is our sense of community. And for us, we don't treat our customers as just anyhow or the other side. We treat them as a part of our business. We treat them as a core of our business. And you can see that in our clients. They are always true to us. They are always there, even correcting our mistakes and always ready to take us up because we put so much time, so much effort. Even like I'm making this video, so much dedication into it because I'm not just seeing you as an audience. I'm seeing you as a part of the community. I'm seeing you as a part of us. And that's why even for those that are using Bulbridge to build their business, you can see we allocate them good time. We go through details into what they want to do and in terms what brings about success to us. So second value or another value that I can say is the integrity. So let people know you beyond the deals that you cut, beyond the commercial transactions. Let them say, when Fumbi is in the room, Fumbi is somebody who's got high integrity. No matter what, when it says A, it's going to be A. When it says B, it's going to be A. You have to be diligent. Those are the values that we are talking about. And somebody say, Mido is a very hardworking person. To me, the guy editing this video, I can say 3 things about him. His reputation is very good. His reputation is viable. If you call him at 3 a.m., he's there. If he says A, it's A, it's A, it's B, it's B. So those are the values that we are talking about. Those are the things that actually count. So those values should be what you're building your brand, your personality around, not your result. So when things are going well, let your values still remain intact. When things are not going the way you plan, let your values remain intact. The second component is your identity beyond the industry. This might look cliche or it might look general, but I want you to look at it from an inward or in-depth point of view. If you're not an agent, what would your identity be like? What are the core things that would, matter to you? For me, I have an identity as a dad to my young son. I have an identity as a husband to my beautiful wife. I have an identity as a boss to my employees. I have an identity as a role model to all the young, male boys coming out of Africa, in England, all over the company, wanting to do this sort of business. So you have to create an identity outside the core of what we operate in. So let's say this camera is off. What does the person behind the camera think about me? What does, the guys at the bay, at the lounge, what does that think about me? Those are the things that you should actually look into building, because that cannot be taken away from you. You could lose out on a contract, you could lose out on a career, but you can't lose out on identity such as who you are as a person, your family, your role as a son, your role as a wife, your role as a dad, your role as a student, your role as a thought leader. These things are even way more important than all of other things that you think actually matter in the long run. And if you keep this identity, they in some way or in somewhat translate into how you perform or into how your business grows. Imagine you're a terrible person at work. Of course, you'll be a terrible agent. You're a good person at work, necessarily to translate in you being a good person. So, of course, remember, build an identity outside of the industry. The third component is your process, not your outcome. You see a lot of agents will tell you, as long as you get the deals done, as long as you get it over the line, oh, it's just a little bit of trick. You see those little bit of things you call tricks, when a deal is actually 8 months, you tell your client it's 1 year so that they can put pen to paper, those things at the end of the day still backfire. Still on the process. This is not naivety to say, oh yeah, the outcome is not important. I don't want us to say the outcome is not important or think the outcome is not important. But what I'm saying is the process is as important as the outcome. It is the recognition that you can control half of what can happen in terms of the process, and you let the universe or life take care of the other results. And these things, of course, do matter. These are the things that will shape you up or shape your career as an agent and let you get out of the trap. Finally, I just want you to know that the agent trap is not about failure. It's about what happened when all you think you are is the results that you get. I want you to get out of that trap. I want you to be true to yourself. Good days, bad days. I want you to be true to what? To yourself. The deal has happened, the deal has not happened. I want you to be what? I want you to be true to yourself. And on the very close one for this episode, if you're building something serious, if you're building a viable and long-lasting business and you need help with that, or you don't know where to navigate or take the next step, that is why at the Ball Business we've built something specifically for you to build that long-lasting agency. It is called what? The Ball Bridge app. Very easy. Click, 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 and the agency of your dreams is in your palm. It's nice to talk to you again. It's nice to see you, and watch out for the third episode of The Agent versus the Agency. Thank you, and it's nice to talk to you. Cheers, guys. Bye.